This is Brand Impact 365 with LaMorvielle. All right, so today is something that I feel like we neglect all the time. I know I do, because as an entrepreneur, we're always moving fast paced, trying to get things done, right? We've got this to do. We've got to make sure this gets done. We're so focused on completing all the tasks that we forget sometimes to do this. We forget to take care of ourselves. As an entrepreneur, I know I find myself, I usually don't give myself time to celebrate the little wins. It's really as soon as I complete one task, I'm on to the next thing. So I wanted to highlight today the importance of personal care, self-care. My grandmother, Grandma Elsie, every time she says this, I have to smile because it's so cute. It's the way she says it. She actually says, in order for you to take care of others, you have to first take care of yourself. And I'm always like, I know, Grandma Elsie. And she's like, no, but it's really, in order for you to take care of someone else, you have to first take care of yourself. And I always smile because it's the way she says it. But in gist, it's in order for you to do the things that you need to do, in order for you to show up in the world, for you to play the role that you're meant to play, you have to make sure that you're doing the things that's going to make you stronger in the long run, right? It's not just about completing the tasks. It's really about making sure that all your foundations are set up and they're stable. And your foundations aren't just about business or being an entrepreneur. It's your personal life too, right? You need to make sure that your health is on point, meaning, are you exercising? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you eating the right foods that's going to give you enough energy so that way you can do what you need to do throughout the day and not feel sluggish, right? Are you giving yourself mental breaks? Are you breathing? Let me tell you something I learned years and years ago, and I thought it was very fascinating. Somebody said, it was on social media. I don't remember who said it, but somebody said, did you know that most people, they don't breathe? I was like, what? And they said, yeah, most people don't breathe. Our body is set up to be on autopilot for a lot of things that we do, and breathing is one of them. So when we're focused throughout the day on this task, doing this, making sure I complete this, taking care of the kids, making sure that my spouse is okay, making sure that my business partner is okay, my employees are, when you focus on all that stuff, our body is on autopilot. So you don't have to think about breathing. You don't have to think about blinking your eyes, right? These are just things that are on autopilot. They just happen. It's like, that's just what it is. We don't normally take the time to really take that nice deep breath that you hear so much about, right? That right? How many times do you actually do deep breathing throughout the day, right? That inhale and that exhale, that in. That's a lot different than just automatically or on autopilot breathing, right? Throughout the day, you're working, you're doing everything, and you're just in and out, in and out, in and out. There's no purpose to our breathing. But when we focus on our breath, it helps us calm our minds. So if we have a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, if you're working for a company and the boss just decided to give you a workload of things that you need to complete by tomorrow or else, that's a lot of stress. And instead of sitting there and tearing up and, I can't believe I have to do this, instead, you can take a step back and do some deep breathing. That inhale, exhale, in. Do that like, I don't know, 5 times. Just the deep breathing. It doesn't take you very long. It's like maybe a good 30 seconds of your time. Okay. Deep breathing in, out. If you can do a full minute, that's even better. But just take some time to breathe, because that allows you to still the mind, clear your emotions away. So that way you're not moving from an emotional standpoint. Our emotions are only meant to give you triggers to let you know that something that we're doing is making us feel uncomfortable. So that's why sometimes we want to cry, we want to yell and scream, or it's because our emotions are triggered and they're indicating to us that something needs to change. Something about what we're doing isn't making us feel good. So those are what emotions are. You don't want to use your emotions to make decisions. You don't want to use your emotions to take action on things, because emotions aren't uh they're not stable enough for you to base decisions on. You can use your emotions to identify, you have something's not right. I feel my emotions, I feel this way, so something's not right. And then figure out how you can change it or how you can tweak it, um, from your emotional perspective. But I wouldn't just say, oh, because I'm sad or because this person made me angry, I'm going to do this. That's when things tend to fall apart. Instead, when you start feeling those negative emotions and you feel like, I just can't right now, right? Just do yourself a favor. Take a deep breath. Inhale, exhale, and do it a couple times. Give yourself the time to process these emotions. Process it. Take a second to breathe, understand, realize, okay, this is why I'm upset. Let me take a step back. And now you can move with purpose instead of moving from a reaction standpoint, right? Another good way, as far as making sure that you are doing self care, okay, is exercising. A lot of us, I'm definitely one of them when I'm saying this, okay? A lot of us tend to sit behind a desk all day long. Okay, for me, I'm sitting behind my desk. I have a computer and I'm just tap, 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 tap for about anywhere from 6 to 10 hours a day. Okay, so from sitting down all day, just sitting there doing this all day, your body becomes stiff and stagnant. And have you ever noticed when you go to, after you've been sitting down for a while and you go to stand up and it's like, ah, my legs don't work. My leg, help. It's that, it's because your body hasn't been in movement for so long that your muscles are seizing up. So try to do these little stretches throughout the day. Try to, even if it's just going, twisting your neck around, maybe it's, wiggling your wrist around, maybe it's doing a stretch up and down. Maybe it's standing up, marching in place for a little bit, but do some type of movement so that your blood is flowing through your body and you don't get those moments, when your foot falls asleep and you get that tingly feeling, right? That just means that your circulation isn't running correctly. So what should you do? Move a little bit. So practice moving. When I say exercise, I'm not saying exercise like go for a 3-mile jog or start lifting weights or do push-ups every day. When I say exercise, I just mean move. It might be turning on some music and dancing for a song or two, right? It might be just going for, if you have stairs, it might be going upstairs, going downstairs. Maybe doing that twice. Just move a little bit so that way your body, again, your circulation, your blood flow is moving. When your blood flow is stagnant, that's when what? You get headaches, you get muscle spasms, you get tingling in your arms and your feet and your toes. And self-care, whatever your occupation, your role, you might be a stay-at-home mother, you might be an entrepreneur, you might work for a company and you're an employee. Whatever your role is, make sure you're moving throughout the day. Make sure you're breathing. throughout the day. And also make sure that you're eating foods that give you more energy. I'm also a culprit of this when um, I'm working all day long and I'm really focusing on getting the work done. Sometimes I forget to eat. I've gone a lot of days where I start work around 10 o'clock in the morning and then I don't finish work till like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. And I only had some water. I didn't eat nothing all day. Not because I'm not hungry, it's just that my focus was so much on completing these tasks that I guess I forgot to eat. I guess I really did. I pushed it to the side, like I'll eat in a minute. And then that minute turns to an hour, turns to 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. And then now it's dinner time and you realize you didn't even eat anything all day long. So find some little snacks that are easy for you. Sometimes before, I tend to like, those little chips, like the Cheetos and Doritos. I'm not a fan of Doritos, but like the sour cream and onion chips and the barbecue chips and, all these different types of snacks. Some of them aren't the best for us. So again, if we have a position or a role where we're sitting down all the time, try to find foods that, even if you're sitting down, they're not just going to sit in your stomach and create more disturbance in your body. We want things that are going to benefit us as much as possible. So that's like fruits, vegetables. If you do decide to have chips and snacks like that, maybe they have like the new baked chips, like the baked Lays. They're so good. They got baked Cheetos, baked Lays, baked popcorn. It's from the Lay's company. I get that every once in a while. I'm not, they didn't pay me to say it, but I'm just saying they come out with a healthy alternative. Same thing with Pringles. Pringles have some baked chips too now. So you can definitely just look to see what type of healthier alternatives there are for snacks. I've also seen like they got apple dippers where you can dip the apple in caramel. Like these are just little snacks that you can just, I got something to eat on or munch on, so that way I'm not running on empty all day long, which ends up being, not very beneficial for our bodies. And in the long run ends up making us feel more tired by the end of the day versus when we have fuel in our body and it's like, okay, I'm ready for the next thing. You might be ready mentally for the next thing, but your body's like, I can't, I'm too tired because you haven't given it any fuel. So make sure you take time every day to do these three things. Make sure you're eating properly or eating so that it benefits your body. Make sure that you move, you exercise, whether again it's just sitting in your chair and you're get the blood flowing. Woo, maybe you're dancing. Turn that radio on and have a little dance party by yourself, just as long as you're moving, right? Stand up and walk around for 5-10 minutes. You should be trying to move around for at least 30 minutes for each day. So you might break that down into, I'm going to move 5 minutes every hour. So at 1 o'clock, I stand up, I stretch for 5 minutes, and I do some more work. At 2 o'clock, I stand up for 5 minutes, stretch, do some more work. At least try to get as much movement as you can. If you can do more than 30 minutes, do it. Because nothing is just going to benefit you even more. If you want a full-blown exercise, you could do that as well. You might wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to do my 30 minutes in the morning or in the afternoon. Whatever you decide, just make sure you're moving every day to get your heart rate up, to get that blood flowing, so that way you don't get those, muscle spasms and things throughout the day. So you want to make sure you're eating good. You want to make sure that you're moving, and you want to make sure that you're breathing throughout the day. Don't get so held up in tension and frustration and all these things that you're focused on. I gotta get it done. I gotta get it done. Because again, I'm definitely I, I- I'm I am guilty of doing this where I'm so focused on everything I got to do. Later on in the day, I can feel how, like, I get like a little bit of tension headache, or I might feel just a little overwhelmed. It's that breathing that's going to help us let all that go throughout the day so we're more productive and we can do more, not only for ourselves, but to help others, whether it's in the company that we're working for, the company that we own or we're trying to build, or again, if it's just we're with the kids and we want to make sure that they're benefiting from us being our best selves. So that's what this is all about, being the best versions of ourselves every day, no matter what we are doing. And it all starts with self-care. So keep that in mind, my friends, as you continue throughout the day, throughout the week, and whatever you are hoping to accomplish in the near future. Thank you, friend, for your support. I appreciate you so much. Make sure to give it a what? Thumbs up. I appreciate you again. And until next time, stay bright, stay beautiful, and keep on smiling. Later, Gator. Thanks for watching. If you are interested in having an interview or sponsoring the show, then check the description below. If you enjoyed this episode, then like and subscribe to support Brand Impact 365 with LaMorvielle. And if you are struggling with your brand impact, then watch the next video.